Apple keeps improving its policies to expand its own company and undercut rivals in the digital economy. No, we aren't saying this. It's the Meta spokesperson himself. Earlier, Apple had claimed it didn't receive a cut of developer advertising revenue, but it appears to have since revised its position. They claim to still be committed to giving small companies easy opportunities to advertise on their applications and expand their brands. However, not all that glitters is gold, and in this case, Apple is certainly keeping the gold for itself only. To know everything there is to it, stay with us till the end of this video, as we reveal all the details. Let's begin now. So what exactly is brewing? Well, alongside the launch of iOS 16.1, Apple updated its App Store guidelines to state that apps such as Facebook that offer boosts for posts and other ad content must use in-app purchases for these features. But as expected, Facebook parent company Meta is not happy with Apple's guideline tweak, and in a statement to The Verge, said that Apple is creating policies to bolster its own business while undercutting others. Here's what they said. Apple continues to evolve its policies to grow its own business while undercutting others in the digital economy. Apple previously said it didn't take a share of developer advertising revenue, now apparently changed its mind. We remain committed to offering small businesses simple ways to run ads and grow their businesses on our apps. Does that mean Meta has openly called out the world's biggest tech company for a fight? Well, it sure looks like it. While you process that, let's move on to what Meta's been doing for its users, or so they claim. So, Facebook enables people and businesses to pay to boost a post that's performing well to increase its visibility to additional viewers and customers, right? But Apple repeatedly stated that digital material offered within applications must be sold through in-app purchases before the guidelines change, and according to them, it was Facebook who has not complied with that requirement. On the other hand, Facebook is of the mindset that there is no need for an in-app purchase when boosting a post in the Meta app for iOS. This is because boosted posts can be purchased using a credit card, debit card, PayPal, or bank account, where Apple should not receive a portion of the advertising and business fees paid to Facebook. Honestly, it all just seems like a he said, she said situation. And while Twitter and TikTok employ in-app purchases for comparable post-enhancing capabilities, Instagram also leverages direct purchases. Let's now take a look at what the officials from various platforms have to say about it. According to interactions Alex Heath of The Verge had with Meta employees earlier this week, the App Store update isn't anticipated to have a significant impact on Meta's revenue. However, there are concerns about the precedent, and that Apple will eventually choose to require the same rule for Meta's standalone Ads Manager app. However, because they would have to pay more for the same reach as previously, users who purchase boosts on the social media apps will be more affected by the changed App Store restrictions, according to Eric Saufer, an analyst in the advertising sector who spoke with Heath. Moving on, the CEO of Meta, Mark Zuckerberg, acknowledged some of Apple's recent revisions during the company's earnings call on Wednesday. He specifically mentioned the most recent App Store policy language surrounding boosted posts, calling them clearly major dangers that Meta as issues see. Additionally, Zuckerberg discussed rivalry and ad problems, which he claims came primarily from Apple. In the third quarter of this year, Meta further reported a 4% decline in revenue, continuing a streak of dismal quarterly results. Speaking to analysts, it informed investors that despite losing money as Zuckerberg pursues his goal of creating the metaverse, the corporation wants to spend even more in the upcoming year. So where do we stand on this, you ask? Well, let's give you an honest opinion on this. Other social media apps such as Twitter and TikTok, as well as Meta's apps, all provide the option to pay to enhance posts, right? So the difference between Facebook and Instagram and Twitter, TikTok, and other platforms is that Facebook and Instagram do not now employ Apple's in-app purchase system for boosting postings. According to as much as our research has informed us, Facebook resisted Apple's request several years ago to start processing these boosted post payments through the App Store. That's right. Additionally, it is true to argue that this paid boost policy represents an about-face for Apple, at least publicly. Phil Schiller, the head of the App Store, stated in court testimony in May during the Epic v. Apple antitrust trial that the company had never taken a portion of iOS developer ad revenue. That won't be true moving forward, though. And according to the individuals who have spoken with Meta, the new rule shouldn't materially affect the company's bottom line. However, there are worries regarding the precedent created and the possibility that Apple would subsequently demand the same regulation for Meta's standalone Advertisements Manager app. Thus, because the purchased advertising isn't shown in the program itself, Apple's current logic exempts the app from needing to employ in-app payments for boosts. You do realize what's happening here, right? Well, that's what we thought. However, the biggest advertisers on Meta won't be affected by Apple's latest pressure. According to noted ad industry expert Eric Saufert, those that purchase one-time boosts on Facebook and Instagram would be most impacted because they'll have to pay more for the same level of dissemination. This is because Apple is decreasing the effectiveness of advertising expenditure for small businesses and influencers by interjecting itself into the social media post-boosting process and taking a 30% fee. At the end of the day, we don't know what Apple's policy is trying to accomplish. But given that Meta has already suffered a $10 billion loss in ad income as a result of the iPhone's ad tracking prompt, it's difficult to interpret it as anything other than a direct attack on Meta. Apple is also fast expanding its own ad business, placing advertising in more areas of its ecosystem. Oh, and did we also mention that Apple will soon face off against Meta in the VR headset market? Yes, that too is happening. To give you just a quick and brief insight into that, the new virtual reality headset from Meta was just unveiled a few days back, but Apple's AR/VR headgear won't be available until 2023. The Meta Quest Pro, as it's called, is equipped with cutting-edge facial tracking sensors, in addition to other amazing technology. Zuckerberg went on to explain why he thinks Meta's VR ecosystem is superior to what Apple has been working on in an interview with The Verge. For Zuckerberg, having an open ecosystem is more important than having the greatest hardware. The CEO of Meta said that his business and Apple are engaged in a philosophical competition as they both try to shape what he refers to as the metaverse's future. To show how Apple seeks to lock consumers into its ecosystem, while other platforms can work together to benefit from the upside of what is developed, the CEO referenced the comparisons between PC and Mac and Android and iOS as examples. He advocated that various developers and businesses should collaborate to build the metaverse in an interoperable manner. Zuckerberg asserts that because Apple currently has complete control over the iPhone, which is used by billions of people worldwide, the corporation can harm both rivals and consumers with its rumored mixed reality headgear. He criticized Apple, saying that the things they're doing are not as selfless as they claim them to be. Building its metaverse platform, Meta has also been collaborating with partners like Microsoft, Autodesk, and Accenture. One of the company's wagers to help more people experience the metaverse is the new Meta Quest Pro. On the other hand, Apple has reportedly been developing at least 3 new AR/VR headsets. The first will be the cutting-edge mixed reality headset Apple Reality Pro, which will directly compete with the Meta Quest Pro. The device is anticipated to have 8K panels and sophisticated gesture and environment detecting sensors. Furthermore, the device, according to analysts, will cost between $1,000 and $3,000. Honestly, just when we think that the relationship between Meta and Apple couldn't get any more hostile than it already is, it doesn't take too long before we're proven otherwise. That's all for today, you guys. Do let us know where you stand on this in the comments section below. If you took something meaningful away from the video, do hit the like and subscribe button. We'll see you very soon. Until then, take care of yourself.